From formation to taxation, covering inflation, temptation, high expectations, and that dreaded stagnation, we bring to you Hip Nation.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Hip Nation. My name is Sarah, and I'm here with Janie today, as usual. She's kind of a staple in here now.
I am. Hey, setting up shop. I got a bed in the back for the amount of beer that I drink when I'm here.
We should get a bed in this place.
Yeah.
I used to joke that I was going to when I first moved into here because Elon Musk did that when he was, and I'm like obsessed with Elon Musk. And he like just slept in his office and worked like for years.
I was just going to say, because I do better work on my back. Like I'm
okay,
fair.
That would be something you would say. Yep.
Good start.
Yep. Good start. So we have the follow and subscribe buttons if you are listening on iTunes or not iTunes. Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Bud, do you want to start over here?
Well, you can get iTunes on. Or you can get Spotify on iTunes. Holy fuck. It's just way too early already.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to get my Rockstar right away.
Yeah. Crack that bitch.
And there's also a donate link at the end of the description of every episode if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything like that. So if you like what we do, send us a donation and we'll get better equipment and we'll sound better and we'll do funner things. Yeah, I just said funner.
Not more fun. Funner.
Better guests.
Oh, we have pretty good guests here. Speaking of better guests, we're here today with Liam from Slackwater, which is a local brewery for those who are not listening from Penticton. And is that a good word to call it, brewery? Or do you call it something else, microbrewery?
Pub?
Brewery,
Just
brew pub,
brewery?
shenanigan, Santa.
Fair enough.
Whatever you want to call it.
I'm not like a beer drinker,
Liquid
sadly,
distribution
which
centre.
is
Get drunk
like...
and forget who you are, Hull.
Yes, exactly.
Hull. It's just like a big freaking building. So
A beer hall.
a beer hall, right?
So take it away, Liam. Tell us about you and where you come from and what you do and all the fun things.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed an accent, so why don't we just start with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Accents are good.
Yes, this one's hard to avoid. Not Australian versus popular opinion. Very English. Born and raised in Birmingham, England. Went to school for... What did I go to school for?
11 to 12 years.
That was cool, yeah.
That one's kind of a go-to.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys graduate
did my
early
ABCs.
in England? Like you can go at grade 11 or something?
Yeah, it's kind of different. We call them years, you guys call them grades. I think it's around the similar age kind of groups, although our years run September through June, and I think you guys are more on a calendar year for school.
I think that's the same here,
Yeah,
September through June.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been so long now.
Yeah, that's what my kid does anyway, so I don't know.
So after grade 11 or year 11, you can move on and do whatever you like. So
Yeah.
when you're 16, or you can go to college, which is like for kind of trades and vocations, or sixth form, which would be your grades 12 and 13, which is like more academic prep for university.
Oh, okay.
So I went through that, then went to university for commercial property, which was fun, but a lot of handy things in there other than the math and figuring out how to price out big projects. A lot of marketing, legal, sales, business administration, all that fun stuff that's just helpful throughout the day.
Shit.
So
Wow.
I keep saying my degree's got nothing to do with what I do nowadays, but it was bloody helpful. And then I whipped out to be a ski bum in lovely Whistler, BC in 2008, and I was up there for 7 years.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
It was a time.
I bet you learned a lot. I bet you learned a lot more doing that than in your education.
Oh, yeah. I forgot a lot, too.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like putting your foot full down on the accelerator pedal whilst holding the e-brake down against a brick wall.
Yeah.
Holy.
Just fucking give her, bud.
Just giving her.
Skid marks.
Oh, the skid marks, I can tell you. So that was super fun. I was bartending at actually, I'm in Canada still because I broke my back towards the end of my first ski season.
Ooh.
And then my travel insurance covered physio and recovery and yoga and stuff for the whole season. I was like, I hear this place is pretty beautiful in the summertime. I just thought Canada was just a big snowy mountain. That's what they tell you in England.
With all the
Really?
igloos and shit. Hey?
Exactly.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
and it was pretty stunning way to spend a summer. And then I didn't want to leave. And then the Olympics were coming up. And then I was like, I'm going to get back to work. And then I started bartending, which is what I did in the UK. And then kind of crept my way up post-Olympics to managing the Longhorn Saloon.
Oh, the Longhorn.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I've had a good time there.
I probably, if it was between 2000 and early 2009 and 2013, I may have contributed heavily to
Oh, that place just goes off.
prison time, lots of stuff.
Oh, it's just such a cool spot where like it just looks
It's wild.
like you just sit out on the patio and you just look up at the mountain and it's amazing.
It's
Like,
got
you just
great-
watch everybody come down and just hope for some sweet bales and fails. Actually, like, I'm
There's
sitting there
nothing
like-
If you're
better
being
than that.
honest.
yeah, I made a
Jerry's of
couple
the
cool
day.
moves,
Yeah.
but like at the end of the day, you just want to see someone get hurt a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Makes me feel like
Isn't
a
that
better
why you
skier
watch any
myself.
sport?
Please let there be a fight, please.
Oh, there was fights.
And then it's like when you watch the UFC, you're like, just someone get knocked out. Like it's always like the extreme, right?
Yeah.
Like someone get hurt. Someone...
Stop tickling each other.
Yeah.
Put him on the camera. So that was pretty wild. And then I was getting very beery. I kind of discovered Canadian craft beer and through a couple of buddies and wanted to work at a place that was less like all those cans of Michelob Ultra you've got over there, Jenny.
I'm such an idiot. I brought in the Michelob Ultra thinking, hey, I'm going to bring
Shame.
beer in. And it's like the shitty, I call it lesbian lager because it just goes down easy. It's got like not a lot of alcohol content. It's like drinking water, right?
Fizzy
Essentially.
cardboard juice.
It is, yeah. But when it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, I just thought. But then we both talked. Sarah and I were talking this morning about like, fuck, I was going to bring in some beers. I didn't want to offend him. And then Liam walks in with these like amazing craft beers. And we were like, well, shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'll just hide my shitty lesbian lager and bring yours out.
You should.
And now you're
Liam, you
drinking a 7% Imperial Sour at 9
First
a.m. in the
thing in the
morning
morning.
like a fucking boss.
Yeah, exactly. And these are actually more of a lesbian lager. We were just talking about that because of they're more fruity and
Yes,
geared
heavily
towards
fruity.
women. But I mean, talk a little bit about just off topic here. Talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
what you've just brought in because these are freaking good, and I
This
love what
deserves
you're.
a plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pink Boot Society is something we've been part of for the last 3 years. Non-profit society based down in the US that's advocate for progression, development, and support and equality of women in the workplace.
Nice.
It was originally in the brewing industry and has now spanned out through fermentation. So they're trying to support women in winemaking, cider, distilling, and everything else, and slowly spreading across the world. Pink Boots Canada moved up here a few years ago. So every time we make this beer, the Yakima Chief hops down in the Yakima Valley make a special blend of hops every year. Breweries buy those hops, they make a beer with it, and then they donate their proceeds back towards the cause.
Awesome.
So yeah, third year doing it this year. This year was super fun. Previous year we did have a female assistant brewer, but she's moved on now to bigger, brighter things. But this was a really fun collaboration across the whole company. So we are very heavily female geared staff wise in the brewery, especially in our front of house operations. So we kind of did a bunch of brainstorming sessions with the team and found out what kind of flavors and beer styles that they want to see and want to make. Then they kind of worked with the brewers to develop these recipes. Our head brewer's partner sister actually made these beautiful, really cool, I think some kind of epoxy and blowtorch.
Yeah, that's
like,
freaking cool.
Wild, really cool, trippy patterns on the cans. And then our extremely talented female designer as well made the can look super sharp. And then we just released them yesterday.
Oh, shit.
And part
Brand new.
proceeds go back to the society. They're not even shipping out to stores till next week.
Sweet.
Wow.
I feel extra special.
Extra special.
That's so cool.
But this year we went a little wild. We've got We're a unique little brewery. We have real high output, but we have a pretty small system. So we have some small tanks that allow us to do some pretty fun things. And we've been doing a bunch of mix packs lately. We have our same but different series where it's a similar style, but we do something different with either yeast or grain or the hops, something just to differentiate the two. And you get 2 cans of the one and 2 cans of the other.
Oh, cool.
That is cool.
We wanted to continue that with the pink boots, mainly because the team couldn't figure out which one they wanted to go with.
Right.
Let's just do both.
Yeah.
So we have an apricot sour, apricot hazy pale ale, and a imperial sour with pomegranate and plum. So
Yeah.
2 cans of each, the purple and the 2 orange.
They're freaking awesome. What did you said that this one here was basically like straight juice, which I was afraid to get into, so I didn't want to.
That's more referring to the high level of fruit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a high level of fruit, but we'll just work on, I guess, trying to push these, and because they're freaking awesome. So
Are they
when-
pretty tasty?
they're
I'm gonna have
awesome.
to crack one after my tea.
We'll
here,
have
'cause
to,
I want to try that.
We'll
apricot
spread
one.
the pink boots. Hey, hashtag spread the pink boots.
I love anything that
I'll leave
gives
that out
back.
of the marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, but awesome.
So, can you tell me about? You said you broke your back. What the hell? Like, was it like pretty bad?
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
What were you doing?
Snowboarding in the park. It was a feature that I've been hitting all season long, and it was an odd day, like bluebird, warm but still super duper icy, and I speed checked into it when I shouldn't and lost my balance and went flying off the other end and landed flat on my back on it wasn't fun.
Like right on the rim, the edge.
2 side-by-side 10-foot boxes.
Oh,
And so there's the one and the other one staggered, so you go onto the one and then you transfer over to the other, but I went way too fast on the first and just tried to safety off, and I just completely leant back, went flying.
yeah.
It was the worst winding of my life.
Oh God.
And then and I was like really naive and young and not sure of my insurance, so I was terrified to hear all the nightmares about how expensive like helicopter rescues are and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, no helicopter.
Did you try to ride it out?
No, I did.
Oh,
When I stood up, my vertebrae collapsed, and then I was down.
Holy.
And then, but it was late spring, so getting to the bottom on one of the little body sleds,
Yeah.
with all the slush and the bumps was pretty
Yeah.
painful. And
Yeah.
at the time, there was a strike for ambulances.
Oh.
And it was pre-Olympics, so the Sea to Sky Highway was like ripped up asphalt, doing like all the major
Oh
improvements.
my god.
So I was just sat waiting for a transfer to Lionsgate for about 8 hours.
Whoa. With a
And it-
broken freaking back.
Yeah, because I could do anything. And then the transfer down was really painful because I am terrified of needles, so refused morphine, and I was pretty much just on like T3s and trying to hold it together.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then had a nice long week of recovery in Lionsgate, which was fun. And I was in a
Golly.
geriatric room. Actually, really, it was pretty odd week. There was the one gentleman that fortunately kind of passed while I was in the room with his whole family around him
Oh my
chanting.
God.
That was
What?
quite an experience.
Really?
And then my girlfriend at the time and my housemate got me Guitar Hero for my MacBook. So
That's a thing?
it is, yeah. I felt so bad because I was just like headphones in, clicking away on this thing, and then I remember hearing the old fellow across the ward going like, "That young man must be writing a novel. He's on his typewriter all hours of the night. I don't know if he can be like yeah, it was pretty funny. I was like just like sneaking this plastic guitar underneath my So that was pretty fun.
That's
Poor
freaking
old guy.
awesome. I had no idea that you could get Guitar Hero
it's
for your
awesome.
laptop.
USB, just plug it in.
No shit.
Oh, cool. What a good way to pass time in the hospital, though.
Yeah.
That game is so fun.
Just explain what Guitar Hero is to like an 80-year-old guy
Yeah.
Right.
behind the
right.
curtain.
I'm playing with a plastic guitar.
I just think
That's
it's
all you
funny
need
you're
to know.
put into like the geriatric ward too. Like
It's really weird.
this guy's basically one of them, so let's just throw him in there right now. No offense, old people.
Old people, real nice, Jay.
It's fine. There's none of them around here.
No, my mom's been working with him for 30 years at the hospital. She's gonna kick my ass after saying that. No offense, old people.
So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And then I decided to stay in Whistler. Then got through the bar, then started managing through the latter half of that, and then I tried to leave actually and go work to a more craft beer focused bar next door.
Oh,
At the Irish bar, and then
that's a good one
oh,
too.
the Dublin. Oh my god, that's still my favorite bar of all time.
We had
Wow.
some good wings there, and
Yeah.
just fuck. Yep.
We sell a lot of beer there, which is great. But yeah, so trying to do that. I wanted to get my foot into brewing, so I was working down on the bottling line at Whistler Brewing, and then 4 days, I think, before the end of my 3-month notice, we're starting an events company. The tourism board wants to start a beer festival. I've just bought into a brewery. You like beer? Can you write a job description and stay?
Oh,
And I was like, okay,
sweet.
sounds fun.
oh
So
wow.
I had from May till September to figure out how to run a beer festival, which was super fun. Pulled it off with I think $2,000 budget or less on marketing. I
Whoa.
managed to get like 1,800 people at they're this beautiful venue in the north end of the village. It's like a big, massive band shell, I guess. They built it for the Olympic ceremonies and stuff, and they have all like Moby's played there and like all the big symphonies and stuff. It's a stunning venue, and we got opportunity to do it there, which was
That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Big lawn and stuff there, and it was super fun. And then after that, they were like, "Oh well, a festival once a year is not going to pay your way, so let's throw you into other things." And I got to work with a bunch of other really fun event properties like Cornucopia,
Yeah.
Pemberton Music Festival. That was a hoot.
Really cool though how like they were finding jobs for you because they knew what an asset you
Yeah,
were. They saw something
absolutely.
in you and just continued to like find things for you to do rather than saying, "Well, see ya."
Time's up.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did
it
something
wa-
for us now. Bye. Right? Like that's really cool.
It was super fun. It was challenging. I had challenges with ownership every now and again, but the opportunity was pretty significant. As I said, I got to run the beer gardens for Pemby Fest. It's 25. There was at the time that was the biggest liquor license in the province. It was over 20,000 occupancy between 7 bars. It was wild.
Holy shit!
wow.
7
Yeah.
bars?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, the biggest bar was a 5,000 alone.
What?
Yeah, it was rad. And then you got backstage at like Jane's Addiction, 9 Inch Nails, Black
Nice.
Keys, Alice Cooper. It's fucking awesome.
Wicked. That'd be
Holy
the,
cow.
that's the best
cool.
part of planning musical events,
I was
right?
like 20 feet from Dave Navarro, just like,
You got to. You just.
Not
It's like you
worthy.
just hit one green light after another. Hey, they
Absolutely.
just
Oh,
kept
the green
frickin-
lights. Yeah.
Just good shit just kept happening, except for the whole broken back part in
that
the
was the
geriatric
thing.
ward.
That was the blessing because I would have gone home.
Yeah.
I had no intention of
Right.
staying. Like I was supposed to fly out like a month or less after that.
Oh,
But I couldn't
okay.
because of the condition of my back. So I
Well,
decided to
there's
stay
the-
for the summer.
The universe just kicked right in there.
I knew
eh?
you were
Sarah
going to go
loves the
there. I
universe.
knew it.
Yeah, the universe.
Was your broken back like such that you couldn't walk? Like did it?
For the first bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It was my T4, so like just above the shoulder blades.
Yeah.
So pretty high up.
Oh God, I can just feel that.
I'm still going to Cairo as recent as yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. I
And
still have
that's
to
how
have
many
love on
years
it.
later?
Oh Christ, that was early April 2009. So a while.
Wow. So that's like 12, 13 years now?
I just
that right?
I was using my fingers and the
Yeah.
pen. Fuck.
I think that's around
while.
there. Yeah, that's
So-
wow.
Well, it'll be something for the rest of your life
Yeah,
that you're
it-
just gonna
yeah.
have to keep working on.
Hence, now going to Cairo
Mm-hmm.
after this long. I haven't been the best to it, especially the last few years doing what you can at the brewery, like hauling kegs at 150 pounds in awkward
Oh,
shapes all the
Jesus.
time. So I've not been the nicest to my back. So now it's time to start.
Yeah.
Start
for sure.
delegating a little bit. Like you're doing pretty good. Can you delegate?
Oh, well, yeah. But no, last July we got a full-time delivery hero, which is awesome. That's definitely helped.
Awesome.
Although
Delivery hero, is
yes.
that their title?
That's his. Well, what do I call?
It is
What do I
for-
call our dear Dustin? Beer liberation artist, I think, is what I call him.
That's amazing. I freaking love when people give their employees creative titles. I love that. Like I'm obsessed.
Yeah, that speaks to like their appreciation for what they do and how they
Yeah.
contribute to the team.
You could easily just say like, he's the guy that moves the shit, but you get creative with it and make them feel worthy, right? Yeah.
I just call myself the janitor. So.
Well, you give everyone else a cool title, but the boss gets janitor. That sounds about right. And you're pretty big on the outdoors too, right?
I try to be. I'm not the most physically wonderful athletic type, but I definitely like to get outside a lot. The brewery brand was built on, this was actually part of the reason I wanted to get out the bar and move towards the events was a severe lack of life balance. And my previous relationship suffered greatly from that and ultimately ended.
Yeah.
So my now wonderful wife, Penticton native, Kelsey Gerard, she kind of, when we met in Whistler, hauled my ass out into no cell range to escape my bosses so I could learn to fly fish and just chill the fuck out, which was really nice.
Wicked.
So that's what the Slackwater is kind of, the name is based on, is the,
Yes,
I was
although there
reading
was-
that, the ebb and flow and the,
Yeah, let's talk about the beginning of that.
Yes. Yes. Sorry. You got a really comfortable chair. I keep
I
moving
know,
back
I
away
just
from
wanna
the
chill.
microphone.
what don't you say? You got to keep your mouth a fist away.
Yeah, a fist away. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we started dating late 2013, which is just after that first beer festival. And then we went on a road trip down through Washington State, Oregon.
Oh, that's such a cool road trip.
It is.
killer.
It's pretty
Fucking
too.
awesome.
North California. My mom actually lives down in Silicon Valley.
Cool.
So drove down to like Seattle, Portland, Bend, Shasta,
I fucking love Seattle.
San
It's a great
Fran,
city.
Santa Cruz, and then back up through the Bay Area against the up through the Oregon coastline, back in through Portland, Mount Hood, and then actually finished up here in the wonderful Okanagan for a couple of days in Apex.
Did you guys camp the whole way, or did you?
We camped part of the way.
Yep.
We got a couple of Airbnbs. It was about 2.5 weeks, at least 7 and 9 days, I think, that we stayed down at my mom's place in Cali, which was super cool. So we had a little home base, but and then we met Kelsey's parents in Bend, which was, I think, my 27th birthday, which was super fun. But we went to about 30 different breweries, fished a bunch of rivers, and we were like, wouldn't it be awesome to start a fishing kind of themed brewery one day?
Yeah.
And that was May 2014.
What a cool chick.
Yeah. She's
Hey,
rad.
no kidding.
Oh, look at your face just lights right
Yeah.
up when you talk about her. That's
Stop it.
amazing. No, she should know. Like, I'm sure she knows, but she should know that you do that when she's not around.
That's
She does.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
She's the
good.
best.
Oh my God.
Well, we
so
actually recently
cute.
had
Fucking love.
we had twin beautiful baby girls on December 14th, so they just about turned 3
Wow,
months.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
so cool.
So it's,
Twins, hey?
an extra thing to throw on our plate right now.
Holy shit.
Twins must be a handful, though. Oh my gosh.
You know what? We feel that we're extremely lucky. They
Yeah.
have, for twins, we were expecting like craziness, but they're pretty chill kids.
Really?
We could be doing a lot worse, I think. I know people with single kids that do, like, that are like, on the edge the whole time.
You can say it. Their kids are assholes.
So 3 months old. What are their names?
Rowan and Jovi.
Oh, wow. Love both those
Yeah.
names. Wicked.
I know. I love that.
Yeah, we actually got Jovi from Elf.
Oh,
Zoe-
really?
Yeah,
Zoe Deschanel's
I was wondering
character.
where I'd heard that name other than Bon Jovi.
I
I was
know.
going to say, is that from...
Because
and
we
then I
never heard of
couldn't
it
remember.
until that movie, and we're like, it's kind of
And
unique.
then Rowan, is that like Rowan Keating?
Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah.
Are we going
yeah,
to,
yeah.
what was that, like Boyzone or something? Wasn't that
Exactly,
like
yeah.
a boy band from
Yeah.
England?
Ireland.
Oh, my
My
bad.
Irish heritage, yeah. Rowan Keating. God, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
My fiance's from England, and she just loves her boy bands. So I wouldn't know that freaking name ever.
I was going to say, that's a name from my past that I didn't ever expect a Canadian to throw at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of you at home. So.
You're very lucky.
Yes.
Right.
And she's from up north, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah. Fuck. How do you know?
You're friends with Lisa, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Lisa talks about
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, Lisa's
Where-
a talker. We love you, Lisa.
That reminds me, when Lucy was here for the last episode, or a couple episodes ago, didn't we talk about accents? Where did she say the crappy accent was from?
Birmingham, probably.
Did she say Birmingham?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I remember being at high school, and I think it was either Maxim magazine or FHM did an article about
Fucking love
ranking the sexiest to the least sexiest accents in the UK, and Birmingham was dead last.
Was it really?
Birmingham's where Ozzy Osbourne's from.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
people
okay.
actually speak like that, and it's really, it's.
I like
I don't want to do it.
Ozzy's-
It's
no, wait.
embarrassing, but it's
I think it's crazy how, like, you
Peaky
can go...
Blinders.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Peaky
yeah.
Blinders. That's Birmingham.
Yeah, you can go, like, you can drive 15 minutes and you're in a whole different fucking accent. Like,
Yeah, it's
dialect
and if you
everything.
assume or ask someone, oh, are you from so I am from Birmingham, which is the second biggest city, which it's funny how many people haven't heard of it. Everyone's like, oh, it's not Manchester. It's like, Manchester's the newest big city. But small interesting fact from studying property law, Manchester is from the Latin of Manchester, which means boob-shaped hill.
shut up. Oh my god.
And the original settlement was on a small little boob-shaped hill.
Lucy is so close to Manchester and she has great boobs, so that makes so much sense.
Of course. That's probably why they.
That's
yeah,
the universe.
For sure.
It brought them to me. Brought her to me.
Okay,
But
tell me-
it's kind of like in the Midlands. It's kind of like the Tri-Cities in Vancouver, like proximity-wise. You've got Birmingham, and then the smaller outliers are like West Bromwich, Coventry. Where else? A bunch of ones that no one cares about. I don't think there's anyone from that area listening to this podcast. But if you were to say, "Oh, are you from Birmingham?" you'd offend the person so bad because they're from Coventry, which is a 15-minute drive away.
Really?
Saying you're
Wild.
from Surrey? No, I'm from fucking
yeah.
Delta.
Yeah, but like you really offend people.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be like Newfies and New Brunswicks and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
but
probably the
micro.
same thing.
Like literally,
Yeah.
the village down the road speaks differently.
Wow.
The traffic too there is so bad that it can take you like to go like 15 kilometers. I know like it can take you like 2 hours sometimes depending on traffic.
Oh, yeah.
You're like way better off to take the train every time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, to get the train to the city centre is about 20, 25 minutes if you want to drive and brave traffic, 30 to 40.
Yeah.
And it's one straight fucking road.
Yeah.
Wow.
One just
There's
big
just so
straight
much
A
shit
road.
that happens on the motorway, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
The motorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speed control's a thing over there. Like
Yeah.
camera traps, they're everywhere. They've got the unmanned ones. You'd be driving down the motorway, and like every 100 meters, there's like cameras racked everywhere.
Yeah,
and
'cause
speed
they have-
lines, and so they track all your average speed between one slipway and the other,
Yeah.
and then they'll just pull you straight across because you've been going more than the average speed.
That's-
So the
it's
trick is to
fun.
just absolutely gun it and then like slow down and then tail off really quick. Yeah.
Is that because they have
Calculate your own
CCTV
average.
everywhere
Yeah.
there, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a thing.
The
Like
what?
It's everywhere.
CCTV, like cameras everywhere.
especially on the highways. And that was
Yeah.
like nearly 15 years ago. It was that bad. So
Yeah.
Crazy.
Big
man.
Brother's probably got worse.
Imagine if they put cameras here, how people would like riot. They're already so concerned about their privacy.
We'll just take a big sip of our drinks here.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Let's brush past that one.
What's Sharon Osbourne's accent? Because hers is different than Ozzy's, right?
I don't know if she's Brummy or not.
Do you know her?
No, but I love her accent. Oh, you're
My
talking to
dad
him.
used to own a auto shop on the outskirts of Birmingham, and he would service or like road approve, I guess, all the American import muscle cars that Sabbath brought in.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
But no, I don't know Black Sabbath. Oh no, that's a lie. Tony Iommi, their guitarist, lived like a mile and a half down the road from me,
Shut
and I'd see him
up.
every now and again at like
Shut
the local
up.
working man's or Legion club. And my guitar instructor when I was 13 learnt from Tony Iommi,
No,
and I
he
was in my
didn't.
like third guitar lesson. And he came into the studio after work and after school, and
Sarah's
I'm just
shitting
like
herself right now.
mind blown. And like I started playing guitar from Sabbath. Like I first lesson is like teach me how to play Iron Man, teach me how to play Paranoid, and then third lesson in Tony Iommi comes in and sits down with us for 20 minutes.
Holy shit.
There's me, a kid called Jason Fowler. I don't know how I remember his name. He was just a big goof, and then a couple of other kids, but from another school in town, and that was pretty wild. There's a lot of rock and music out of Birmingham, like
Absolutely.
huge, like Sabbath, or in the West Midlands area in general. You've got Zeppelin, Motorhead, ELO, UB40 all grew up on lived on my street. I went to school with all their kids, and they're a pretty fun band.
What?
Yeah, it's
Sarah's just like mind
I'm
blasted
gonna start
right now.
crying. I'm
Like,
just fangirling here.
I have a very bizarre amount of famous people I've met. It's a really, I don't know how my paths curve through it, but it's pretty fucking weird and pretty fun and cool. At the
Pretty
same time, but,
awesome.
like,
Yeah.
It's I don't know what that.
Oh
is.
my God, you're
But-
so lucky. You're so
Sarah's
lucky.
Just like she can't even think of words
No,
right
I
now.
can't.
She's just
During the
sitting there.
Olympics, I served Queen Latifah like 4 bottles of Patron. That was pretty funny. And then she bitched at the bill big time.
Really?
Big time.
Really?
I was like, yeah, Queen Latifah, you can pay for the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Holy cow, that's so cool.
All right, so going back to your current business, in the beginning you had a completely different name and logo, correct?
Only the type font logo. And we kept
Right.
we just call it the drop, which is the kind of,
Yeah, it's like teardrop shape.
yeah, with like the kind of abstract salmon kind of built into it.
Yep.
But we were originally called Hatchery Brewing.
Yes.
The most
Yes.
Okay.
The most memorable spot where we spent the most time learning to fish was up Tenderfoot Creek Hatchery in Squamish. And the kind of like new life, new beginnings, life cycle, we really dig that. So we went for Hatchery Brewing. And then a certain winery in our region with a similar-ish name really didn't like it. And we squabbled a little bit, and then I think it was 10 days before Festival 2019, we had to do a full name change, change the typo, go get our tent, tablecloth, all of our promotional materials flipped, do all the paperwork, the liquor branch, and I think our wonderful friends at Strange Fellows, all of our stuff landed. And it was the day of the festival. It was in Vancouver, and they were just leaving, so they grabbed all of our stuff and drove it out and gave it to us at Festival. So
Holy
thank you,
shit.
Strange Fellows, again and again. We'd have had a pretty naked-looking booth otherwise.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And that was when you first started, so that was a pivotal
Oh yeah,
one
that
for
was,
you.
That festival was the first one we attended, but then we also took People's Choice Best Beer at that one as well. So that was a huge one.
Fuck
So
yeah, you did.
That's
that was
awesome.
fun. What the fog?
What the fog? That was the beer?
The
What
beer
the
of the
fog?
city. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fog?
Yeah.
the fog.
It's our
Yeah.
hazy IPA.
And then what? Don't you have a what the foggy fog or
We
something?
got the What the Fog in Fog,
Fog
which
and
is like
Fog,
a
yeah.
8% version of it, which is just super juiced up.
It just gets you fucking wrecked.
Yeah,
You get to have so much fun with your beer names. I just love it.
I do. It's so much harder than you think. It is so much harder than you think.
Yeah, I bet.
Like some names is like the beer's out, it's in a keg, and like me and our brewers like, what the fuck do we
Well,
call
trying
it?
to keep it with your brand too, and what
I
you guys
know.
stand for, right? Because everything about
That's
you
the
guys is
hardest
like
thing.
simple, approachable,
Yeah.
right? And you're trying to stay with that, but then sometimes you just want like what the fog.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Right?
perfect.
and we want to
Yeah.
stick with, like trying to keep like that's the one of many positives, I guess, that the name change kind of brought about was Hatchery is very niche, but then Slackwater is a far broader. It's a boating term, it's a fishing term, it's a surfing term, it's a very broad approach. So we've not just like some of the first beer names we came up with, like Tight Lines is means good luck to like other fishermen. Intruder is a big, beautiful, very colourful fly pattern. Idleback is a favourite little lake to go and cast up on behind here. So we tried to keep it that way, and they were all original names from the original business plan. But now, like, we've got our Party Wave, which is like a surf-themed kind of beer.
Right.
And we've had Nautical Nonsense and Portside and Starboard. So we've got far more breadth and depth in the brand now.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to what the fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool. I love that. I
But
had no
it's just-
idea
it's
that
just
what
fun,
like tight lines is just because that was my favorite one.
Yeah.
And so it's just
Just means
when you
good
want to say
luck.
good luck to another fisherman, it's just like tight lines, bro.
Yeah, because when your line goes tight, it means you got something on it.
Freaking right. I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, and this is the best meaning of Slackwater. When you explain it to people, especially from Penticton, is it means a place of calm between two bodies of water. She's Penticton.
Oh my
Chill
God,
fucking place
what?
between two beautiful lakes.
Did you do that on purpose, or did that just kind of come through
No,
after you had named it?
I had a couple beers and then just threw the name Slackwater out, and that was it.
Fucking right. Hey, and I bet you
And
just
then we
went
told
off.
the rest of the
like,
team, and the rest of the team's like, yeah, we can get behind that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
would have been so excited about that. It just makes so much sense.
yeah,
Like,
And also, like, you know, when it could be another word for just beer. Like, it's a slack water.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
It's like you slack off and drink water.
First thing on a Saturday
Yeah.
morning. Why not?
Yeah.
As soon as I get through the rest of this gigantic cold brew coffee, I'm cracking one of those too.
Yeah, that is a big. I thought it was Pepsi, but it's coffee.
That's
It's
my
just a big
psycho
black
sauce.
coffee.
Yeah, when I was working in Yaletown, I'd go through about 5 of these a day.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't have a jammer.
Wow.
I was a bit more active back there in Vancouver. I did some exercise.
Some.
And that
Just
was
some.
lift pints and ski when I can.
Yeah,
And lift
okay.
babies.
How often do you make it up to the hill? Do you much? Do you have time for that?
You know what? So Kelsey's family have a cabin up at the Circle. We actually got married up there, and our reception was the Gun Barrel. It was fucking awesome.
Cool.
Oh, I
Like,
love that place.
August 11th, 2018. I think it was the 11th. 11th or 13th? Oh god, it's too early in the morning. Anyway, middle of August 2018. Beautiful forecast, and the one and only day on the forecast was like a black cloud on that day. And we're like, it's gonna change.
Yeah.
Never changed.
Oh.
And like 6 a.m. on the morning of, everyone's staying up at the resort. Sheet lightning and thunder wakes everyone up.
Holy
We
shit.
have a small window for our outdoor venue. In the morning, me and all the lads had to like quickly prepare an indoor venue at the Gun Barrel in case we had to take it inside. Small window, beautiful little ceremony, but Kels and I were very much hurry the fuck up to the officiant.
Yeah.
Finish that, walk down the aisle, Mr. Blue Skies from ELO, the wonderful Birmingham band. Walking down a huge cooler, everyone just grabbed a beer, went for a little walk around the circle, which is a kind of a little tradition up there. You just it's literally a circle. You just walk around it and crack a beer or walk the dog or walk the kids now.
Yeah.
And then just as we're getting round, say, 3/4 of the way through the circle, like crazy, like 45-degree pounding hail.
Cool.
Everything. We're running, they're trying to move the little book inside because we hadn't signed anything yet. And it's like shoved ourselves in the cabin and everyone now scarpered back to their places. Yeah, it's pretty fun. But anyway,
What a
Apex.
I
wedding.
just love watching Sarah listen to you, trying to figure out what the fuck he's actually saying with some of his words. Because I always say to Lucy, I'm like, you need fucking subtitles, man. Like, I'm trying to, I get, for the most part, you get the whole story, but you're
Yeah.
like, I'm just filling in a couple blanks here with words I think I know. So,
well, I'm like, yeah, 12 ounces of
coffee in there.
cold brew coffee with 2 extra shots in. Sorry, I need to slow down. Tell me to slow down.
I think, no, it's
I'm
just
loving
the
it.
excitement of the whole day and everything, too, combined with the coffee and just like, it's like you were trying to rush through the story, like you were trying to rush to get back to like to skip the whole hail and
Well, so I
everything.
don't forget what the actual story was. You know,
Yeah.
you ever see that Family Guy when Peter has the first Red Bull?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like that right now.
It's
Anyway,
funny because when you just went, that reminded me of Peter Griffin.
yeah, he's my spirit animal. My wife will attest.
That's amazing. Your spirit animal.
And then, so Apex. So the girls were born on the 14th of December. The first weekend we had was Christmas, which was wonderful and special. And then the next weekend being New Year's. And then they spent every weekend of their life up there until last weekend. Where we
Cool.
had to stay downtown. But we still went up for a day trip. So,
Yeah. Wow.
um,
You guys love being up there, hey?
oh, it's our favorite place.
Yeah.
Still haven't skied as much as I'd like to this season. But I'm going to go up tomorrow afternoon for a couple turns with some buds. But
Couple turns with some buds.
What did you just say?
I think he's gonna go skiing.
Okay.
skiing with some friends.
Snowboarding. Hit a couple turns with some buds.
That was me being Canadian. Come on.
Did you say buds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
It almost sounded like bards or something, didn't it? It sounded.
I thought I heard
I
like
pronounced
buttocks.
it in an odd way.
yeah.
It's like, did they get buds or buds or whatever?
The funny thing is, the first beer that Lucy and I ever went for when she came to Penticton, we went to Earl's and she ordered a bud, and they brought her a beer called Bards. Which have you ever heard of Bards?
Yeah, it's
I'd
like
never
a
heard
small
of it.
white can with a green hop leaf on it.
Well, it came in a bottle, so but she was like, what the fuck is this? But it was like a gluten-free weird
Sure she wasn't ordering
beer.
Boddingtons?
I don't know.
Manchester.
I have no idea, but it was no. It said Bards on it, and she was like, "Well, I guess this is what I have to look forward to for the rest of my life."
Because of her accent.
Yeah.
She wanted Bud.
Yeah, she wanted a Bud, but they brought her a Bards, which was weird. That's what just
funny.
reminded me of that. Anyway.
Okay. You and I have been in business for roughly the same amount of time. What the fuck did you do during COVID?
I don't know. Survived.
You had to shut down, right?
We had to shut down. That was the worst. Especially because it was St. Patrick's Day, for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah.
That was the worst. Like, I had, like, we made a beautiful, like, Jameson cask stout ready to tap at 3 o'clock for St. Patrick's Day. And then at 3 o'clock, I was like, I should probably listen to that Bonnie chick, see what she's got to say. And then I just walked out the office and, like, put the mallet down because we had, like, a full cask. I was going to tap the cask and, you know, get on it for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. And then, me and my business partner were like, oh, we need a breather and talk about this. And we went over to Bad Tattoo, crushed a few beers and came back. And we're like, gonna have to close the doors, guys. And, and then we had to, furlough about 30 amazing humans the next day.
Yeah. And
then I worked through the night for about half a week to get our like e-commerce set up and running. And then, we opened the next day just doing retail, like can sales. Mm-hmm. And the next week we got one of our guys back in the kitchen flipping burgers, and I was doing the deliveries, so it was free delivery over $20. Mm-hmm. I think we're the only brewery doing that around. Mm-hmm.
How'd that do? Was it good?
You know what? Versus some of the sales days we've had through the rough restrictions while still being able to be open.
Yeah.
We did very fucking good numbers some days.
Yeah.
Like very good numbers. Like
That's
I'd be
awesome.
like filling up. We had a little, we just got before it happened, a VW wagon. Mm-hmm. And I'd be loading up like 8 to 10 orders, ripping all across the city, getting back. The next round are in, and it was super fun. And like there was, buddy that was doing landscaping his yard and order a case in every single week, and I'd go around and just hang out and crack a beer with him, and there's all his buddies there and help out for a little bit. It was really cool to keep maintaining face with a lot of our customers and meeting a lot of new customers.
Cool.
We introduced ourselves to a lot of customers, especially through that the kind of free delivery, and then they had to look at my goofy ass turn up on their doorstep with beer, and I'd chats with our locals. I'd hang out on their doorstep for 5-10 minutes, just having a chat and a catch up. And
that's cool though.
That is cool.
Trying to keep the relationships going outside of the tap room, which was really fun. And in weird ways, sometimes I really missed that.
Yeah.
It was just like me and my business partners hustling like all hell, trying to do whatever we kind of could, and then getting ready to reopen, which was wild because it was nothing like we'd ever known before, with all the restrictions and the spacing and the masks and the PPE. Mm-hmm. What do we need to buy? What don't we need to buy? How many people do we need to hire back? Mm-hmm. How realistic are our numbers and our budgets at this point?
When's that going to change?
Yeah, when is that going to change? Right now is just nuts.
Yeah,
it's just like right now is like getting crazy, but and we just started packaging beer in our first fall. So like I think October 2019, we started putting beer into cans using mobile canning services out of the coast, which is like really expensive for small breweries, especially out here, because you have to pay their travel fees to get them here. Mm-hmm. So that adds like 5 cents a can just to bring them to your door. Mm. And then as soon as the shutdowns were announced, the 2 mobile canning companies at the time got booked out immediately. And we were lucky enough to get dates every 5 to 6 weeks. And our beers at the time were taking 3 to 3.5 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we couldn't flip tanks twice. Say we couldn't do like a batch of kegs and then get ready for a batch of cans. Mm-hmm. So production efficiencies were horrific. Mm-hmm. It was really tough, and just we still sold a hell of a lot of beer, but it was really painful. Like for cans, we'd can them and then we'd sell out, and then we'd have no cans for weeks.
Right.
That was super rough. And then yeah, so that was the whole summer, and then I managed to reach out, and we have a really good relationship with the company that we were using, and start getting dates every like 3 weeks come that fall, which worked really well, which enabled us to keep moving liquid out into cans, improving our increasing our reach, and getting the beers out into more hands. And then thankfully last September we bit the bullet and got our own canning line out of Calgary, which is nice.
Oh, cool.
Wicked.
So yeah, Canadian built canning line, and our entire brewery is built in Ripley's in Summerland too. So very proud of that.
Yes.
Having a 100% Canadian built machine or facility, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now having a canning line is the best thing ever.
That's awesome.
The best thing ever.
And now things are looking up.
Now things are looking up, including our material costs.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like,
When we started canning, a can was 18 cents. It's 28 cents now, just for the can.
God.
Holy shit.
Plus freight.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's nuts. And, like, label costs are going up. So, like, you have to be really careful on, well, right now, if we're doing a seasonal, we'll plan several seasonals at once, get the artwork done and send them all to print. To get some economies of scale versus we have one release, we need a few thousand labels. They're like double what we'd be paying previously.
Right.
Holy
So
shit.
yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like a lot of people don't realize, like consumers, I mean, who aren't in business, just don't realize how much the cost of things have gone up in the last even like few months.
Yeah.
And we're in a very price sensitive market too. I mean, yeah, like craft beer is premium over normal beer, and we have a huge market for it, and it's ever increasing. The demand for craft beer versus macro beer in this country, we keep biting away at the bigger guys. But still, no one's put precedent of moving up prices right now. It's like everyone kind of knows what a really high-end great IPA costs and everything else. But yeah, it's...
So
if we didn't have the canning line and we were still doing mobile canning, it would be very tight right now. But
Yeah.
like the ability to can ourselves is significant improvement.
Are
That's
other
good.
breweries in town doing what you're doing?
Oh yeah, we were one of the last places to get a canning line. Cannery's got a canning line. Neighborhood's got a canning line. Bad Tattoo's got a canning line. I believe Highway 97. We're checking out our canning line the other day because I think they're going to go with the same one, which is super cool. Yeah, there's the flexibility, cost of goods is significant.
It's worth the investment.
Exactly, because you pay the other company not only to get here and whatnot, but you pay them to put the liquid in the can.
Yeah.
Which is like 25 cents just to put the liquid in the can kind of thing. So that just removes
That cost, yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got a full case of beer. So it's, and then we pay for them to put the labels on the cans at a premium. Where now we have a labeler.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk more about the relationship.
Tune in next week for the continuation of this episode. Until then, stay hip.